Hey everyone, welcome to Limitless Radiocast, episode 102. Man, Chad and I had the great opportunity to sit down with this amazing man, Elec Simon. He is a professional musician. He has traveled all over the country. He is an inspiration to so many people, but you know what? He is now training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and we get into how that all began. So you guys throw your headphones on, sit back, relax, turn that volume up, and enjoy the show. Hey everyone, this show is also being brought to you by Gateway Dental Care, 13 Emeralds Tattoo Company located in Canton, Ohio, Warpath 55 located in Massillon, Ohio, Lanky Fight Gear, OldBonesTherapy.com, 28bands.com, BJJ Foundation, Lastly Nutrition, Battle Balm Cream, Thomas Webb of DeHoff Realtors, Kandray Law LLC, Magic City Brewing Company, M&H Beans Coffee Company, Ronald E. Butler Tax and Accounting LLC, LimitLess Tape. Listen guys, these are our sponsors and they help us tremendously each and every week do this show, so we ask you guys to support them as much as they support us. Now enjoy the show. What's up everybody? Welcome to the show. So hey Chad, this is awesome, man. We have a great opportunity to hang out with a hometown person from Canton, Ohio, and he is well known if you guys don't know, so check it out. We're hanging out with Elec Simon. He's a hometown person from Canton, Ohio. Elec spent a decade with the off-Broadway show Stomp. He's also performed with the Cleveland Cavaliers Q-Sticks group and had the honor of performing in 2 NBA All-Star weekends. He's been awarded the Be Me Genius Award as well as the 10 Outstanding Young Americans Award. He was also a featured drummer in the Warner Brothers film Judas the Black Messiah. That's just the surface of what Elec, I'm reading this from a thing and everyone knows it now because I'm so bad at this. I normally just come off the cusp, but I'm just going to go with this. I'm going to say this, Elec, that this is the surface, just scratching the surface. I would say actually your biggest passion is probably the more about respect, love, and believing in yourself to combat bullying out there and combat the world. He's done a ton. And obviously Chad and I wanted to bring him on the show because my man has begun Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So, Elec, Elec, Dan, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. Definitely.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you so much. It's a blessing to be here. Hi, everybody. Everybody out there back home in Ohio. I love you guys. I'll be there soon. I come back. I got to do a couple shows in July, and I got to do some for the Hall of Fame and in September. So I come back from time to time. Got to see the family. I got to see the family. So
for sure.
Me and my girlfriend, her family's all Youngstown, Canfield.
Okay.
Poland area, Struthers, and I'm Canton, Akron, Ohio Valley. So we fly back from time to time.
Nice. You make it when you do make it back. Come in and train with us if you get time. I'm sure you'll be swamped when you're back.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try. Actually, I'm gonna bring my stuff and just try. And just that's why I told Tim Stintz. Shout out to Timmy.
Yeah,
that's my boy. I love him.
He's a great dude. I love that.
Great dude. Just a great just a wholesome guy. And I told him, I said, when I get home, I'm gonna try to jump in with you guys and roll around a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Definitely.
What? Go ahead.
I said, don't hurt me, though. I'm just learning. It's crazy, bro. Coming from that wrestler background, I'm telling you. And shout out to my coach, Eric Olin here in Orlando, Florida. Black belt, great. Eric is great. He's not on no excuses. It's like, hey, sure. Coach, I'm sorry, ice, and I'll see you next week. It's just to the point. Get to it and let's just keep moving. But he's a great coach. He breaks everything down. He's Elec. You have a strong foundation. You come from wrestling. He's like, one thing, you just can't get us on our back and that's it. You gotta finish. So I was going in just shooting. He's like, man, you're strong. Your base is strong. But what are you gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning. Shout out to my coach Eric. And here in Orlando, Florida. But it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing. That's
awesome. Hey, and as you know, you're starting to pay it. You being in the jiu-jitsu community, obviously, you have a lot of connections and a lot of communities that you've been in. Jiu-jitsu is different, but it's awesome because it has from everybody, from everything in it, and you just you get that family, that brotherhood, sisterhood atmosphere. People really care. They want you to be better at it. It's really cool. Did someone introduce you to it, or was it something you always wanted to do?
At the gym here, actually, right around the corner, from my building, I met my coach there, and a buddy of mine, Mike, we working out. He's like, hey man, you wrestled, right? I was like, wrestled from 5 years old all the way up through high school. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, this is my buddy Eric. He was out there playing pickleball, And now he introduced it. Yeah, you should come roll around sometime. I was like, listen, I'm learning. I don't know the holds and the names, and come on, I'm learning all that definitions. He's like, but you wrestled, right? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you have a foundation already. He said, you have a foundation. And the first day I went in, he was like, once you get these moves down, you're going to be a problem. He's like, because your foundation is strong, and I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to ask questions. I don't care who's watching. Anybody who's watching this interview now, kids, adults, do not be afraid to ask questions. You're not dumb if you ask a question. I'll ask a question that's simple to you two, and you're like, man, he should know that already. I don't know that. I know single leg, double leg, dump. I know the game. I know that stuff. But if I don't know the name of something, I'm a slow learner. I have to keep learning. I have to keep seeing it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing he liked about me, Coach. He said, Elec, he's like, you ask questions, and that's great. I'm gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, and that's what that wrestler, your foundation obviously is there, but also your work ethic is there. The wrestling work ethic is really second to none. And drilling in jiu-jitsu is not fun. Everybody wants to roll all the time, right? That's the fun part.
Sure.
But I always go back to my wrestlers. I'll ask Timmy Stinson, like, hey, how many single legs have you hit? And he's like, I couldn't even tell you. Just telling the other guys, like, this is how you get good. You got to drill this stuff and ask questions and all that stuff.
Yes, you do. And I was talking to my brother Brian Rogers, Predator.
Yeah.
Brian used to play. Good buddy of mine, great friend. We talk all the time. We'll text, FaceTime, whatever, talk. And I got to play in Denver actually in August. He'll come to the show and see me in Denver on the tour. But he was like, yeah, man. He's like, I just won another. He said, I just jump in these grappling tournaments, and he's like, and I end up winning. I'm going against some tough guys. He's like, but that wrestler ethic is different. You go the extra mile. He's just like, because you hear your coach. I used to hear Coach Doyle like, no, you ain't done. I didn't hear no buzzer yet. You got to keep going. And Coach Ricardo and, and Sean and everybody just like, yeah, you just got to keep going. And like, not taking nothing away from boxers, jiu-jitsu, judo, karate. No, everybody works hard, but just being a wrestler. My mom, when she said, when my mom put me in wrestling when I was 5, 6 years old with Pee Wee, I was just like, this is it. This is the work that I keep in my mind, even as a musician on tour. You have to keep going. You have to outdo that. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm tired flying and stuff, I think about, man, okay, Alex, the last period. Keep going. You have one more show to do. Then you got to get on a flight and fly all the way back home to Orlando. You know what I'm saying? So I keep that with me. I keep that. The discipline, self-discipline is what my coach always put in me. Self-discipline.
So hardest thing to teach a young child, a young athlete, a young person is, and once you get them there, once you get them into that motivation or that mindset to where they can do that, man, the sky world is no limits. You know what I mean? Like they can just keep going. And like I coach sports and stuff like that. And that was one of my things. And I love talking to the guys in the gym. And that's always been my encouragement to them. Like, just keep going. Just keep digging, man. Just keep digging into it. And, you're going to be just fine. Right. I can relate to the wrestling thing for sure. Cause my first couple classes when I started jujitsu, people were like, did you wrestle? And I'm like, I did. And they're like, I can tell. And I'm like, they're like, you got that base. And I'm like, yeah, like I was no good, but
it's so true. And it's like, I love the journey because like, I'm not so many people out there try to be, I don't know, they wear the gear, they take the jiu-jitsu, but they try to be this avenger. Like, no, humble yourself and just say, hey, I'm learning. I put that, I put my life, not my life. I just put things on social media that's going to help the next person. I say, hey, y'all, I put the caption, hey, I'm just learning. I'm learning. I let people know that you're learning. Say, let people know that you're humble. Let people know that you're willing to learn. That's how you become a monster. Yep. That's how you become a savage and a beast. Because if you walk in there thinking that you know everything, you're going to get humbled really, really quick. You're going to get humbled quick. You just got to stay chill and just listen. Even if somebody's younger than you, like 18, 19-year-old, there's some killers out here, 18, 19-year-olds that are just monsters. You got to sit back and listen. Hey, no, do this, brother. Okay. You just got to sit back and listen. Yep. You have to sit back and listen.
100%. And we have a lot of guys like that. And I talk about him a lot. A young kid, he's 24 now. Logan's 24, right, Chad?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's 24. I'm just turned 46 in May. And I used to ask this guy, I still do to this day, like, hey, Logan, how would you do this? Like, and I'm as old as his dad is, but instantly I was like, he knows what he's doing. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm gonna humble myself. I'm gonna learn from these guys. Tim's a huge, Tim and I are good friends, and I care about him greatly. And he's taught me a ton, but I'm older than him too. And it was like, oh, I see how good you are. Like, come here. Like, you show me that and I'll keep working that. You know what I mean? Some guys come in and they're so like,
true. No, so true, man. No, true. Like, as a coach, Jay, like, do you ever look? I'm interviewing y'all now.
Yeah, no.
Do you ever ask somebody like that's lower belt than you, say, hey, how would you do that? Like, I don't know why. Has anybody ever said, Coach, I want to do it this way? Have they ever did that?
Yeah, I mean, so a couple things I try to do. Like, if I was out for 3 months. At the beginning of the year of my first ever jiu-jitsu injury, knock on wood. In 19 years, my first ever injury. So my lower ranks stepped up. A couple of my other black belts, Stinson taught a lot of classes, but I would, I was still at the gym, but I would ask them questions in the class. Like, hey, why are you doing it this way? To show the other guys, like, hey, I want to be the ultimate. I want to be a student all the time. Just because I'm a black belt doesn't mean I have all the answers. At the same time, if I know somebody is good, Jay Stu, one of my guys, is a purple belt. He's awesome at baseball chokes. I don't know if you've gotten into the baseball chokes yet.
No.
But man, he hit 6 at one tournament, gi and no gi. He was just lighting people up with it. So I had him teach baseball chokes for a couple days. And I have another guy that's really good at leg entries, Dan Kandray. He's really good at leg locks and leg entries. I had him teach one day. So the way I explain it to people is I want to train my replacement someday. I want all of those guys to be able to step in and teach for me, or when I'm gone, be able to carry that on. You know what I mean?
That's deep. No, that says a lot about you being a coach. That's people want to be in your presence because you're opening up the floor for other things to happen. And I think that makes other people feel. That's why I like Eric, and and Eric's one of his other students, my boy Sean. Sean even helps you. Sean just started too. Like, he just, I just ask questions. I can't stress that enough. Ask questions, you'll get it. It's not a race. I want to learn every single thing, exactly the names. Like, I'll record myself and say the name of this move and actually do it slow and put it in my little file. Okay, this is called this called this. So it's like I just have to know the name of things, you know what I'm saying? Even side mount, pass guard, all that stuff. It took me a while to pass guard. Oh, I'm getting past guard. I'm moving, you know what I'm saying? Getting past the legs. So I'm figuring it out slowly, but I'm asking questions. You
got to.
And I'm letting the world know that I'm asking questions.
You got to. Yeah. We joke a little bit with Terry. Terry's my question guy, man. And that's
from day one, man. I was like,
any
questions? I'm the only guy. I'm like, I have a question.
Listen, if I come in there, I'm asking.
Ask them, dude. I'm asking. And you know what? And that not only good for you, like you said, of asking questions, it's good for the instructor because it challenges me. Like, am I doing this right? Terry would be like, hey, why is your right hand posted there? And I'll be like, I don't know. It was just something that I did that wasn't, to me, a major part of my technique explaining. Okay. But Terry would ask me, and I'd be like, well, let's reverse engineer this and see, why am I putting my hand there? Is it just because, or does it mean something?
And the more you do it, that muscle memory builds in, like Chad said, like, he just does it. Timmy's the same. Like, he does certain things and I'll ask him and he'll look at me like, what? And I'm like, come here. And then we'll like get into the movie. He's like, oh yeah. And so, and I've always, it took me a long time. I was a shy kid, so I didn't ask those questions when I was younger. I was, sit in the back of the classroom type. I was I'm an introvert by nature, except all this life has changed me tremendously. And then getting into podcasting, I'm not afraid to talk to people. I'm not afraid to express my emotions or help people in that manner. Right. So when I started jiu-jitsu, I went in with that same attitude. Like, I'm going to ask like just whatever. And I know there's people here that are like still feeling that because it's intimidating, if you haven't, to be in a room full of people that, can probably put a licking on you. So you're like, no one's asking questions. Like, I'm not asking. People are going to think I'm dumb, or they're going to like come after me or whatever. And I was just like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to ask. And then hopefully other people will start asking stuff too, so that was a little bit of approach as well.
No, and I, you know what, I didn't even, and I'm an introvert, but I have to be an extrovert because I'm out on stage. I'm in
right, exactly,
thousands of people, and then when I'm not on tour, I like to be on my motorcycle, train, the gym, watch in the heat of the night on my fire stick. Virgil, nice. I like to watch Virgil and Chief and Bubba. Bubba's my favorite. Nice. I like to watch in the heat of the night. I like to watch Night Court. I like to watch all my old shows from the 80s, baby, and like to eat and do nothing. That's my favorite thing is to do. Or if I want to jump on my motorcycle, that's the thing about living in Orlando. Living here, you can ride all year long.
You can ride all year, yeah.
And that's just my getaway. But going to class the first time, it was like, man, I was like, and then the next morning I was so sore. Like I was like, wait a minute. I was like, why am I so sore? I was like, I did this. I was like, oh, jiu-jitsu. The muscles that I'm not using, the hip flexors, saying going my neck. I was just like, doing the thing, the shrimping out, just like, why is my side? Why is it sore? So it's making me sore. I have back injuries. I have a bad shoulder, and my knees messed up. My knee swelled up last week after class. But the thing about it is, I take my time and I rehab and I jump right back in. Yeah. I don't baby nothing. I do my work so I'm not hurt forever and messing up my money. But then I jump right back in. I'm ready to roll. That's that warrior status. Even if I say, Coach, I'm gonna go about 80% today because I'm still hurt, but I'm still here because I still got to learn. I still got to have my notebook and writing the things down.
Yeah. So, and you'll find out, and I'm sure you've already found out, I learned a long time ago, there's a difference between hurt and being injured, especially in jiu-jitsu and any athlete, I guess any sport, but I think that gets mixed up a little bit. If you're hurt, you can train. If you're, because I've 19 years, something hurts on my body pretty much every day, not terribly, but you have aches and pains. So
aches and pains for sure.
Wow. And my big toe, the bone. Yeah. I played Colorado. I was doing a bike. Me and a guitar player did like a hike thing on mountain bikes, and I hit my toe on a rock coming down the hill, and it bended, and you kept pedaling, and you just hit the bone. Yeah. And it felt like my toe was just dangling. I finished the whole hike. Oh man. And then it was bruised inside that bone. I was like, I think I fractured my toe or broke it. Still went to class. Couldn't shoot. I had to switch my shoe.
Couldn't push off that.
I couldn't push off, but I figured it out. I was getting my single legs, but I just couldn't shoot. And I was like, hey, my toe's messed up. I taped it up and kept moving.
Nice.
And kept moving. My coach seen that. My coach was like, these are warrior things. The
mentality.
The mentality. That's it. That's it. So
and we preach this, at East Coast all the time. And Chad's a big proponent of this. Is hey, if you have a little bit of nagging injury or whatever, and you don't think you can go, at least come here, come hang out, come sit, come take notes, come talk. Because Elec, this, like now being what I talked about just earlier, being in that environment, being around your teammates, being around those people that give you energy. I talked about this not too long ago. Chad, you know what I'm talking about. I haven't been in the gym for a while because I was coaching baseball. We just finished up last night. And so I wasn't getting a lot of time in the gym, like one day a week. Just things have been crazy at home. Now I'm trying to get back into that consistency now. And I'm like, and I was to the point to where the energy, like I had no energy here. I work from home now because of COVID and all this stuff. And my wife's like, you need to be at the gym. Like you need to be around your people. So I'm like, and then I went one night and I was talking to one of our good teammates, Jay Stu, that Chad mentioned. And I was like, man, like, thank you. Like, just thank you. Cause like I needed that energy. Like it wasn't even about jujitsu. It was just like, nonsense stuff, like whatever, but it was just different. And I was like, wow, like we need to get more people in to understand that part of it too. Like they give you something, like, jujitsu can give you so much more than just a defense or a martial art. Like it gives you so much more that you may not get that in other things. Now, I think the intimacy of it, wrestling is a prime example. When you wrestle, those are your brothers, man. Like you go to war for them, you get on the mat and you do it. So you kind of know what I'm talking about. And you're getting that, obviously being in jujitsu. So
let me ask you, do y'all think, Chad, do you think people are scared to come to your class because they don't want to be embarrassed? They might be a dog out in the street, or in the gym, and like, oh, I'm tough, and then they come there. Yeah, I mean, it could be, and then they get humbled. That can lower their standards, and then their self-esteem's lower. Like they don't want to come back. I'm not going there. Like it's cool, but I think people think that. I do
too, 100%.
That's just
absolutely. Yeah, because you're gonna find out that night whether you're about it or not, right? Like
he said, you're gonna find out that night.
Well, I mean, we talk a lot about on the show, like
Yes.
We're so wrapped up in everything in the world, social media, our phones, whatever's going on. Jiu-jitsu, you have to be present. If you're not present, you're gonna find out, right? Like what it's about. So you got to be in that moment. And if you might be an athletic dude, maybe you did wrestle and you come into jiu-jitsu, and then 130-pound dude, puts it on you a little bit.
I'm gonna listen, y'all. Hello, everybody watching. Hello, Monday when you watch this. Listen, I'm telling you, you have to humble yourself. Humble yourself, self-discipline, sit your butt down and just listen. It ain't about you right now.
Yeah.
Sit your butt down, find a seat. Like my grandma, our grandma used to say, find a seat somewhere. Your grandpa, sit down and just listen, and your time will come. You start progressing.
Yeah.
Because if I come there, Chad, if I come like, hey, I fly home to Ohio, I got to do some shows. Hey, what time is it? Oh, they're training. Oh, you know what? They're training at 6. I'm gonna leave my hotel, Belton. I'm gonna come right over there and say, Mom, I need to borrow one of your cars. When I come to Ohio, I need somebody's car to drive. One of my aunts, my family's so big, somebody will give me their car. I'm gonna come over there, gi or no gi, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, have my stuff on and say, look, I'm just starting, y'all, but I'll roll with somebody and train and drill with somebody who's just starting too, or I'll go with a purple, or I'll go with somebody who knows. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, Chad, like, hey, can we do that again where everybody else can start? Can you come over and teach me that again? So I don't slow the class down. For sure. But that's me speaking up. Always remember, kids, anybody listening, to speak up, because closed mouths don't get fed. You don't want to go home say, man, I feel dumb. And then you get farther behind because you're not asking coach questions. Yeah. I'm gonna say, Chad, I'm gonna say, coach, I'm gonna call you coach. I'm in your stuff. I'm in your world. Hey, coach, can you help me real fast? Yeah, look, let me finish this. I'll come back here and drill with you. I'm fine with that. That makes me feel better. That makes me feel better.
100%.
And you feel included. You feel like you're part of it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and like
yes.
So I coached 9 and 10-year-old baseball, as I was saying, and the way I approach coaching is I have the kids do a goal they want for the year, and we don't let the parents kind of be involved with it. Like it's their goal. It's the kid's goal, like whatever it is. It's like, no, I don't want your parents helping you. Like this is your goal. You guys can write it on your hat. You can do whatever. And we talked about it after last night was the last game. We played, we lost in the championship game, but we did runners up. It was fine. And we said, hey, you guys, some of you guys wrote these goals in your hat. And the one kid, like, he wanted to pitch, but he was afraid to ask. And I knew he wanted to pitch because you could see him. And I talked to him and I said, Ryan, you got to ask, man. I said, advocate for yourselves. Just because you're 10 years old doesn't mean you don't have a voice. Doesn't mean you don't have the ability to open your mouth. And so he did. And we got a good friend, Justin, who was the head coach. I was assistant coach. And we were talking and Ryan just came out. He said, Coach Johnson, I want to pitch. And he said, do you really? And he said, yeah, I do. And said, all right, man, next game you're starting. And we just put him out there, and he, he did amazing. And I said, and I pulled him to the side after, and I said, this is what this is about right now. I said, you learning to ask those questions, you learning to go to adults and say, I need to know this, and it will help you get better. That's how coaching should be. Obviously it's not always that way, as you know. Right. But like your mentality, Elec, is same. You already have that mentality. Walk in a gym, a jiu-jitsu gym, which is extremely difficult, as we said, and you ask those questions, like, and then sometimes it might get other people to go, oh, he's asking it. Like, it's okay.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And it's actually taught me, y'all. It actually taught me, to be honest with you. And now I'm a straight shooter. I told Timmy this. It actually taught me in life. It helped my mental, because I don't think y'all get traveling every week and on a plane in front of thousands. You got to be on. If I'm emceeing a big event, a conference, like September is going to be crazy. I have to MC with a lot of big events. Lewis Howes, Lions Not Sheep, Sean Whalen, my brother Sean. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? So that is, and a couple other things. It's like I have a lot, but people don't get. They see the traveling and the stage and the lights and the crowd screaming for you. But it's like it takes a toll on my body. I'm tired. I just want to be home.
Tired, man.
I'm getting burnt out. But it's a blessing. You be careful what you ask for. I tell people, be careful what you ask for, because you know what I'm saying, whatever y'all believe in, the universe, God, whatever, He's going to give you. When you get it, don't complain.
Yep.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So the jiu-jitsu has taught me to, because Coach Eric, he's just chill. He's chill. It taught me to calm my mind, even on a plane. And when somebody road rage, because people in Florida, they drive crazy. They teach you just to
Peace,
be smart.
Right.
Be smart. It's just, this is what Denzel say. This is chess, not checkers. Remember Denzel Washington said that.
Yeah.
I look at jiu-jitsu as chess.
Yeah,
and I don't even know how to play chess. Ain't that crazy? I play checkers. I'm old school. I don't know how to play chess. I still want to learn. My girl, she's like, babe, I'll teach you. I'm like, oh, I want to learn. But now it's making my mind work. Like Chad, when you first started, tell me the truth. When you was a white belt, gi or no gi, when you was like, okay, do I want to keep going to get this black belt, or do I just want to just do this for fun and then just say I do jiu-jitsu and wear some shirts and do whatever?
Yeah, I mean, so it was like 2004, it was still really in its infant stage in Stark County, like in the area, right? So I didn't even understand. I came from a karate background in the 80s. I'm an 80s kid too. I did karate. My first karate class was 1982. So I've been around martial arts a long time. Never wrestled. So it was a big step for me to start jiu-jitsu because I had no clue what was going to happen. And when I started at East Coast, it was no gi only once a week. And I didn't even understand the gi portion yet, or even what belts were, how many there were, and how you did it. So for a long time, I was just doing jiu-jitsu because I loved watching MMA, because there wasn't, now we can just turn on Flow Grappling or whatever, or YouTube and watch all the jiu-jitsu we want.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Right?
So I was watching MMA for the jiu-jitsu,
Oh, so wow.
I didn't even have any.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even have any concepts of what belts were at that time.
Yeah, bro, listen.
Yeah.
Chat, listen. The first time I did gi, our boy Sean trains with us. I'm thinking it's regular. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it's regular. It was Walter. Walter was on his back, and I was trying to pass guard, and we go from, we had the hooks in, going from there. He grabbed my car. I was like, yo, man. I was like, hold up. He's like, no, we're allowed to do that. Bro, it was so funny. Because listen, y'all, listen. Yeah. He grabbed my collar. So now I'm like getting mad. I'm like, okay, but then I was like, I'm looking around. First I was like, yo, he grabbed me, and Walter stopped. He's like, no. He's like, we're allowed. You're allowed to grab. I'm like, oh snap, you're grabbing. And I got strong grippers as being a drummer.
Yeah,
man, I started grabbing this under nook, and I was like, man, I'm stronger than one else. And that's when he's like, man, you're strong. I was like, I didn't know. I didn't know you can grab that and do that. And I went to a cradle. I had this part right here. I was like, his legs right, because that was my move in wrestling, cradling.
Yeah.
I was like, I think I get his head, boom, and then I cradled him, and then I threw legs in the other way, so he was almost like a split. I'm like, okay, and then I got up and coach was like, finish him. You didn't. He's like, you let him up. And I was like, well, I got him on his back. He's like, no.
Yeah.
So it's
that's awesome.
I rolled him over and cradled him. I got them. And I was like, okay. I'm ready to go again. He's like, Elec, he's like, he didn't tap. I'm like, oh, you got to get them so it takes a while. But being honest with yourself, other people out the world don't understand when somebody's being honest with themselves. That's what draws people to you, being honest, because everybody behind closed doors, we want to know. We want the real, because out in the open, social media is so, I hate social media, but I love it. Out there, you don't know what's real and what's not. So on my social media, I try to tell the truth. Say, man, I'm just learning. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. I messed up here. I show videos when I'm dropping a stick in front of 10,000 people. Like, oh man, I dropped it.
Right.
They want to see the real. So this has helped me. This has helped me. Jiu-jitsu has helped me just be more calm, help my mental health, and just help me just to think and stop, slow down a little bit more. Slow down. Just take a break, slow down, and you can move and still be powerful. Moving, just
it's that flow. That flow moving. Which we talk about it all the time in jiu-jitsu.
Take a break. Yes.
Yeah. You want to flow roll? It's like I can roll with Chad now, obviously a lot better, but like you can flow roll, like, because I know enough to where it's like it's smooth and it can be good resistance, but still. Well, in a good flow roll with two people, you should be still sweating. It still doesn't mean you're not moving and trying, right?
Flow roll. It's called flow roll.
Well, that's what we call it. Flow roll. So sometimes I'm a little different than a lot of people when I warm up jiu-jitsu guys. Like, we don't do the jogging around and all that stuff. Like, I warm up with jiu-jitsu movements. Maybe it's what I'm going to teach that day or related to that. Or I'm like, all right, guys, grab a partner. We're going to get 3 flow roll rounds in, 6-minute rounds. And you just like me and Terry roll, and we just roll from position to position. If I catch a submission, I let it go and we move on.
That's what we do. We start. That's what Eric did. We just drill something that he's gonna go deeper into.
Yeah.
If it's like passing guard, that's a warm up where just simple, bridges. Like, hey, mountains and bridge. You take like 2 minutes each. Shrimp. So that's we don't jog.
Yeah, back in my when I started, we would run laps around the gym, and then just it's that's not helping. That's not helping our jiu-jitsu. So. Right. So,
I just it's just like it's funny you said that, because it's like that's intimidating. 6 minutes, you're rolling. You're rolling.
Yeah.
You're rolling. So you take the time, and I'm figuring out this too, Chad. I'm figuring out where to breathe.
Right. That's where you.
Because Chad, like my coach, Eric, is nothing but a $145, $150, and man, throwing me left and right. He just smiles like, get that on. He just picking with me, just digging that elbow. I'm like, He's like, you ready? Like he's great, because he knows I want to learn. He knows I'm hungry to learn.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm like, I got to control my breathing. I'm strong. Yeah. But it's like, no, you got to save some of that in the bag, in the pocket. That's what I'm learning how to do now. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah man.
It's funny when you do that
crazy.
too. And I'll tell you, man, like it'll get there, Elec. Like you'll be in a row with someone and they'll be going really, really hard, and you'll just be breathing normal. Like, oh, this cat, like I remember these days, like, because I do it now, and I'll like, if I roll with someone, I'm like, oh, I remember when I used to do this all the time. Like, because Chad would go, breathe, Terry, breathe. Because I'd be like, I'm so exhausted, and my arms would hurt, like, because the lactic acid would build up. And he's like, you're holding on too tight. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying not to die, I think.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people.
And Chad is just chilling, just ready to toss you over to the left. He's like, okay, are you ready? Boom. And you just like,
every time.
Oh, man, y'all cold, man. Y'all cold, Chad. Y'all cold. Look at him. He's chilling. Y'all cold, man. Because it's funny, because y'all could do that. It's just like, hey, man, chill out, breathe. All the while, we have no clue that our arm is loose or something's loose, and they have a move. They have something already in their mind, and we're thinking we're doing something. Like, hey, are you ready? Okay. Boom. Next thing you know, you're like, I'm like, how'd you do it? It's smooth, man. It's so smooth. It's so smooth.
Efficiency. I've been trying to just preach efficiency and longevity to people, I think they go together, right? If you're, I try to be, and I'm a smaller guy. I'm 6 foot, but I'm 155 pounds ish. So I have to be efficient. Like, I'm not going to overpower Terry, no matter how good my jiu-jitsu is. I'm not just going to beat up Terry because he's,
I'm 6'1", 240 now, unfortunately.
Yeah, right.
So
that's important. No, that's actually great to see it. Man, I wish everybody can hear that, because somebody asked me, they said, Elec, were you ever going to, jump in a competition? I was like, my shoulder's bad. If I do it, I would just do it just to do it,
Yeah.
Sure.
Going to beginners. I mean, I would, if I lose, I lose.
Yeah.
But like the pounds, like people look, I'm 259. People look at me and say, Elec, you're not 259. You're about 2. I was like, no, I'm 259. My legs are big. I've always had big legs, always, which is my base. That's my thing. But it's like, that's so true. He said, yeah, even if you are black belt, just like you said, even if you are, a master, you still know you can't go to somebody who's brolic strong and just throw it unless you get even if you're trying for
like a Kimura lock or something.
Kimura. Yeah. I'm learning. Almost had it. Yes. See, I'm learning.
I saw you knew what it was. You put your hand over on your wrist. I knew right away. I was like, oh, he's going for a Kimura lock. I don't know the name.
I got C's in school, man. C's, man. That's all I got. That right there. Like, one time somebody, tried, is like, I'm strong enough to resist it. But if they get it in there, like, I think I did like the ankle lock where I pinch my 2 knees. Just bear with me. So we're sitting down. My left leg, his leg's in there. My left leg heel is in his right here. And I take my right leg over and pinch. And but I was doing it, and coach was like, Elec, I can wiggle out of there. He's like, get down deep. And I've always been like this. My mom said, Elec, you would always feel bad for kids when I wrestled them. I don't want to hurt nobody. That's just not what Vic said. I don't want to hurt them because I don't know my own strength. And coach was like, Elec, no, sit back, dig that ankle in there. get up more and then lean back. I was like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, there you go. He's like, now tap. So it's just small things like that. But him doing that to me, it was like, my legs are strong. He had to dig. He was digging in. He's like, but he still got it. So that was great. What you just said, Chad. It don't matter if you are black belt. If there's somebody strong, you still got to work. You still
strength is strength, man. Strength is strength. It's size is, you know, you learn jujitsu, they're like, oh, size doesn't matter. That's not true. In a street application, sure, I can probably, it's a little different. But against another jujitsu person that knows leverage and stuff, size matters, man.
Really?
It's a big thing.
You think a lot of people, you think other coaches, black belts, you think they would say, you think they would disagree or no?
I don't know. I mean, it all depends on the person too. You know, not everybody's created equal and all that stuff, but I don't know.
Right.
I mean, if you look at it,
my coach said that. My coach said, no, it does matter. He's like, if you're strong, he's like, it
strong,
does matter.
dude.
Yeah. And you just got to work differently. You know what I mean? Like, so for instance, I could resist a ton of things that Chad throws at me because I'm strong. Right. But Chad is also obviously 19 years of elevated jiu-jitsu at a black belt level. And so he's like, oh, good, you're going to resist here. Well, I'm just going to move to something else where you're not resisting. You don't even know it's coming. So there's the difference of someone that's good at jiu-jitsu and someone that's still gaining knowledge in jiu-jitsu. So in our world, strength and size can matter, but typically as the levels go up, it's not going to matter. I could roll with a purple belt right now that I weigh 70 more pounds and they can destroy me because they know more jiu-jitsu than I know. So they know if I'm doing something because I'm trying to resist, they're only going to move to something else. They're going to like, fine, you're resisting that, but I'm selling it. I'm selling you on that. And I'm just going to move to something else that you already don't know that's coming. Or as you said, there's a loose arm out because I'm trying to resist real hard on one thing. Boom, you get caught on something else. And it's like, ooh, you got to learn that. So be more efficient, as Chad was saying, like in your jujitsu, to where don't resist so much, kind of flow with it. Learn that process, and then you start. When you see two black belts that are high level black belts that are good, you're just like, oh wow. Like I watch Chad all the time. I'll sit and watch him for years in our black belts in our gym, Pete and Matt Craddock and Brad. Now two other black belts that just got promoted last year. I watch them roll, and I'm like, they make it look so easy. Like even when someone is going so hard with them, and they're like, bam, bam, bam. Like it next. If I turn my head and look back. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Like Chad was on the bottom like a second ago, and now he's on top in complete control, knee on belly. And I'm going, what did I miss? Like, hey, can you guys stop for a second? Like, I need to hit rewind, baby. Like, and go back. I need to see what you just did. You know, like.
No, I'm with you. I mean, my coach said, Elec, he said, if I go to other gyms, just roll around my buddies. He said, you have these blue and purple belts. Know that I'm a black belt, and they try to destroy you. They go all extra hard just to try to. He's like, bro, we're just chilling. Like, just because I'm a black belt. Don't mean you got to come, but he said they come at him crazy, and it's like, man, he's like, they just trying to show him what they got.
Yeah,
it's like, Chad, you, I'm sure you agree. It's like, man, it's like he's like, no, he's like, we get it all the time where they go all out, they're bumping your head, you're getting bruised and getting tore up just from them going 1,000% just to prove something. Like, hey, you're a black belt, I'm blue, I'm gonna show you them back.
Yeah. Right.
Man, listen. I was like, listen,
it is
one
funny,
thing I was going to say, Chad, both y'all, do y'all see, like, I was watching a couple things, just like you said, on YouTube and everything, just channels, just learning. I noticed a lot of jiu-jitsu people who didn't wrestle don't shoot the right way. Yeah. Some of them, like, their head would be on the outside. I'm like, oh, just that's around, like, no, have it on the inside, try again, pull, and, dump. And I noticed, like, do you see that? Like, people who don't come from wrestling background, do they have to learn how to shoot?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm still not very good at shooting after how many years? Like, if I I don't stay on my feet too long, but if I do, I like to get an underhook and get off to the side. I don't want to be under people, so I like ankle picks or something like that. So I can use my length a little bit because I don't want to, and I'm smaller, so I don't want to be under somebody and they sprawl on me, and now it's like, I'm in a bad spot now. So,
people don't understand that sprawl comes on your neck. Yeah, and that weight is on you. I wrestle. Yeah. I mean, I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11". But I wrestled 89 in high school and 71, 89. but I was wrestling guys taller than me, lanky, long.
Oh yeah, long arms.
Taller, so they just feel hit. So I was a blaster. I'm a single leg inside and then dump, or I'm a double legger, pick up and then go to cradle like that. But then they sprawl on you, bro. Ain't nothing like. Nope. It's just like, oh, you can't. So like your life is over, and they get in that.
They sprawl and get that whizzer in, and just
that's it. You just
it's miserable.
Oh, it's miserable to get out. It's miserable. But once again, like we said earlier, I'm learning to breathe, take my time. You have the fundamentals of wrestling. You know what to do. You know what to remember. Now you use coaches teach you, hey, just take your time. They're gonna get tired after a while holding that in there. So you pick and choose when to wiggle out, you know what I'm saying, whatever, get some control, whatever. I'm learning that now. Learning to take my time and just put my strength where it needs to be. Where it needs to be.
Elec, how long have you been doing it now?
I only been doing it, what? Only 2 months?
2 months. Okay.
2 months now. Yeah.
Awesome. And I will tell you this, man, as a little over 3 years now, for me, you are already ahead of the curve, I will say, because of your mentality.
Yeah, the thinking part of it.
The thinking part of it is one of the hardest parts. And to hear you speak the way that you're speaking about the approach is so much better, because a lot of people will come in and it takes them a very, very long time to get over that part. They'll constantly go hard all the time. Years and they still haven't broken that. Go ahead.
Yeah, because it's easy to do. You're a big, strong dude, right? You could go in and just start trying to beat up people. Yeah, because it happens all the time. Right. You know, I always say it's like you got two big white belts. Somebody's going to try to be stronger than the other, and the other one's going to be like, no, I'm stronger than you. Yep. And then it's just going to be, you hear all people say like jiu-jitsu isn't a fight. I'm like, have you ever watched two white belts go at it? It's a fight.
It's a fight, baby.
It's a fight.
Yeah.
But see, I'm like I said, and thank you for that, y'all. You know, I'm just not, and don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm an honest person. I have to live up to what I say. I don't lie, so I don't have to remember what I said. I am that guy sometimes. I will go in there and say, you know what, I'm about to just figure it out. If and when that does happen, I haven't had that happen yet. Where it's too white, you know what I'm saying? We're just battling. I got to prove myself. Like I said, my class and my gym and coach, it's more, we're learning. I'm still learning. He's black, you know what I'm saying? The walls are just blue. There's different levels in there, but it's like, we're learning. It's more like a family. It's like, it's a, it's not a big, huge, you know what I'm saying, thing. It's like more like, hey, this is what you and drill. And it's more learning. So I haven't had a chance to really go at it because I'm still, like I said, I'm still fresh.
Yeah. And it's okay to be, you hear some coaches or stuff and tell guys, well, don't be strong and don't do this to somebody. It's like, no, use your attributes.
Yes.
I wouldn't. That'd be like telling me don't be flexible. Don't do that. That's not fair. No, use your attributes. Don't go in and just beat up your teammates. But
yeah, be a good teammate for sure.
Be a good teammate, but use what you got.
Right. And Eric says, coach, he says, Elec, go in there and do. He's like, you wrestle, use it. Yeah, use your stuff, figure it out. He's like, but don't let them up after you get them on your. We're not pinning nobody right now.
Yeah. It is funny. Great. I will find myself getting in that just, it stays with you forever. I swear the muscle memory comes back, the wrestling, and I'll be in a position and I'm like, oh yeah, this is, and I'm like, oh wait, I can't do anything here for jujitsu. like this doesn't do anything. Like a cradle, for instance, like, oh, I got the back, like, and I'll forever. I would, when I would take the back, I would get the, soft arm around the belly and get behind the elbow. Like you were setting up for that top mount, that top position. And then I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, grab it. Like, why? Well, like, don't do that. They can't. They're gonna just go away from you. Like, this is
right. I got a question for both of y'all, though. Let's start with you, T. Yeah, what belt are you? Where are you?
I'm a blue belt. You're
a blue belt. Yeah. So, what do you prefer, gi or no gi?
So, I prefer gi. East Coast, we're predominantly a gi school. We do train in no gi. I prefer gi, and I think I prefer gi because I could slow people down because I have very good grip strength in my hands. So I liked the ability to use the gi as a weapon, pulling lapels out, collars and stuff like that. What I found in no gi is I would really result to my wrestling because it's faster. And so I still struggle to this day in no-gi in terms of getting the submissions because I want to get to the wrestling moves. So I'll get to those wrestlings and I'll get dominant on top or something. But now, I mean, I do know Darce chokes and stuff like that, but it was different entry for me. Like I'm still, even 3 years in, still trying to, if I'm in a no-gi roll, it's like, wait, this is a wrestling move. It's like, oh no, you got to do a jiu-jitsu move here to get the submission. And in gi, I think I picked up a little bit quicker to use the gi to my advantage for chokes and, you know, arm bars and so forth. So for me, yeah, I'm going to say gi. I do love no gi because it's a workout, man. I mean, it's faster, you know, it's sweatier. It's, you know, you're slippier, you know, so it's kind of hard to get those locks in. It's more body control, more wrist versus, you know, sleeve and pant leg. It's more ankles and, you know, body grabs and, you know, grabbing tries and buys and on people and getting around those types of stuff. So that's a little bit different gripping for people. But yeah, well, I'm a gi guy.
You like gi then? What about you, Chad?
The same. I think they're both necessary. I think the older I get, the more I like gi, just because it is a slower, more methodical thinking thing. I think no gi can, personally, I think you can rely on your attributes a lot more in no gi because you don't have those handles, people slowing you down, right? Sometimes I feel it can teach bad technique too, because you know, the way you get out, you might just be able to whip out of an arm bar because you're slippery and sweaty in no-gi versus gi, where they have a collar and they have you really, you know, hemmed up a little bit more, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
And it makes you think. And I've heard people like, there's a lot of guys that just do no-gi now. And they're like, well, you know, in the gi, they wrap my lapel around my leg and I can't move. I'm like, yeah, figure it out. Figure it out, right? Like, So a lot of people don't.
But that's what I was going to ask you. I was like, you know, you said you're from the old school. I was like, it's probably gi. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I don't know what coaches. I don't know. I mean, he's great at both, but it's just like, I don't know. Like right now, to be honest, even like on the air, like even my cousin Gary, he's in Columbus. He did the Arnold. He did gi and no gi. I forgot to ask him which one he likes. I don't know if it's no gi, but then our bass player Dave Dyson, Dave's older 50s from DC. Master Lloyd was his. Lloyd, Lloyd. That was his coach. He's and we'd be on the tour bus and he'd be showing me stuff. He said he likes gi because you know the grabbing and blah blah blah. But I don't know why. The no gi sits with me better. I don't know. You think I'll grow out of that?
It's a wrestling.
It's your wrestling background. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You think I'll grow out of that, Chad? You think I'll be like?
I think so. As long as you're like, we've already established you're very open-minded about your training and honest with yourself. So I think you will.
I think it's good to have that in your. It's good to have that. Like it's a tool in your toolbox, man. So, Elec, you already have a base. Like you built that base before you even knew you were building the base to do jiu-jitsu. I mean, you wrestled. Right. You know what I mean? So, like, it gets you in the transition of no-gi, and then you can take that and go, ooh. If he's able to do this in a gi, how can I get out of that? Or how can I do it? So it almost elevates you because you're coming into it a little bit already set up. Like we said, your base is already good. Your ability and your mindset is already there. Your savageness of being a wrestler. I mean, that's hard. Right. As Chad said, you know, wrestling is kind of like, you don't have to teach those guys how to work hard once you get on the mat. You know what I mean?
Right.
You did it a long time, so you already know. So it's just going to push you to go, you like to learn, right? So you ask those questions. So it's like, ooh, what can I do in the gi? Right now I've got this in no gi. So I pass guard in no gi and it's a little bit different. Oh, when I do this in gi, is this a little bit harder? Can he resist this a little more? Can he get me into his closed guard a little better? Because you have material to pull you down into versus no gi. It's like I'm trying to pull your arms and your hands down into closed guard. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, if they ask me, like, I'm like, do both and invest your brain and mind into both enough to know, hey, this is capable. It's translucent to me. Yeah. They both can be used in any situation. It's just a matter of you thinking about it in a slightly different way. I've had people, tripod sweeps are one of my favorite things that, because Chad destroyed me in them forever. He still can, but my goal is always like, hey, it was not 5 or 10 this time, it was 1 in our roll.
Right. And tripod is, hold on, tripod. Yeah, I do that on your back.
Yep.
You can grab. I get the hook.
Yep.
Right hook.
Yep. One foot on the hip. Get the
push
hook.
pull.
Push pull.
Yes.
Yeah. See, you got it. See.
Hey, coach, we get it, Eric. You see this? I remember. I'm gonna send this to you when it comes out.
I had someone ask me in no-gi. I pulled it in no-gi, and they were like, "How did you pull a tripod sweep in no-gi?" I was like, "Well, your hand was here, so I just double gripped. And pulled you down, and then grabbed you, let go, grabbed with one ankle." Hooked that other foot and pushed you back, push pull. It's the same thing. I said, you just got to learn how it just works a little bit different. It's still,
The other part of the no gi debate, I guess, and people don't think of this, is the self-defense application of it.
Oh,
especially we live in Ohio, we got hoodies on today, right? I mean, I could choke you with your hoodie, so you can still learn some functional things,
Right. And forget her name. She came and trained with us, and we was like, boom. I was like, I'm not gonna put my weight on you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're training, but she put her foot in my armpit and just extended her foot out.
Mm-hmm.
I was like stuck.
Yeah.
Grab my gi, and I was like, oh man, I can't do nothing. And I had like had like a hook on her, but then she dropped her foot down really fast. I didn't think. She grabbed both things and just twisted.
Oh yeah.
I was like this. I was like, yo, what was that? It was just the gi that was choking me. She just had it and just pulled like tying a bow. So I know if I do, like I said, I'm gonna tell Coach that. It's like if I do, start leaning towards gi, because like I said, we do both. When he was saying no gi today, I think I would be good because my grip, just like you said, I have a good grip from being a drummer.
Yeah.
And I have a good grip, and I know I'm strong. I know I'm strong, so maybe I can use that to my advantage. If I get a good grip on something and use my strength, and they feel that strength, I can use that. But that no gi, just like you said, it's just like, okay, this is close to wrestling, but it's not.
Sure.
But I need to start training my brain with the gi on knowing how to, just like you said, with the hoodies. Sometimes anybody to listen, I tell people you have to be able to protect yourself at all costs and know what you're getting into, and because the world's crazy now. People are crazy. So if somebody does have a jacket, you can get, you can figure things out. And that's another thing with your mind. It makes your mind work.
Yeah.
Makes your mind strong. My mind is getting stronger and stronger. Like by the days, it's like makes you think like about everyday life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It does.
About everyday
for
life.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Work smarter, not harder. So definitely, man.
That's awesome. Have you got to go out on tour? Have you done shows since you started jiu-jitsu?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Bro.
Okay.
I'm standing on stage like this.
So I was going to ask you, like, were you like any time in a show going?
Welcome. Listen, I played what I've done since I started jiu-jitsu. I've done 40 some shows.
Wow, nice. So you've already felt it then.
Man, listen, on a plane, twisted up like this. I was like, can I get some more Biscoff cookies? Can you bring some more Biscoff cookies to me, please? Just my back, but I take care of myself. We have this one gym I go to. It's a cold plunge. I go in there. I go in there 2 minutes. It's a big pool, freezing cold.
How do you like it? So I haven't got to talk to anyone like personally that has done it.
Okay, so here's my elevator pitch. If we're in the lobby, we're going to the 10th floor. Okay, so the cold plunge, I do it after, at the end of the day. I don't do it right after my workout because you want your muscles to grow. If you just pump your muscles, you don't want them to deflate. I do it on my off day too. I just go do some little cardio, walk, stretch, and then get in there. I do 2 minutes in there, just take my mind. It's freezing cold. I just walk in, don't even think about it. It's another thing but mindset. I just walk in, I get down to my neck and just sit there, let it hit my back, my legs. 2 minutes, and I walk 2 feet and get in the hot whirlpool. Sit there for 5 minutes. Get up, go over there and do that. I switch hot, cold, back where I do that. I do like 3 or 4 times just to shock my body. And then the next day when I get out, it's just like you ice in your back. Remember your coach, you say, ice.
Yep.
Yeah. You feel good. But if your heart and everything's bad, it can mess you up because it takes your body shock because it's so cold. You got to just ease you. But I just eased in there the first time I did it. And now I just walk in, just take my mind out of there because I know my body's healing.
What's the
It's
temperature of
good.
the water? Do you know off the top of your head? I know
Cold.
they're all different, but I know
Yeah.
cold. Like, I mean,
Cold,
when I
cold.
watch people video, and I've seen, this has been a debate lately that I've seen on social media again,
Let's see.
good and bad about social
Right.
media.
Right. Right.
And then people are like, oh, it's not good. It's not, doesn't do anything for you. And I'm like, I have a hard time believing that we would just come up with something. But then in my head, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, Terry, what you're asking yourself this own question. We come up with a million things every day that are
Right.
awful, and people do
Right.
them. And we're like,
people
what
do
do
them, and they're just saying that, T, because they don't want to take their mind there. They don't want to think outside the box.
Sure.
They're stuck in their own ways. And I was like that too. Like, I ain't about to get in no cold plunge. I got ice at home. But then when I did it, I was like, man, I feel good. You know what I'm saying? I feel good. You don't do so. The water, I just looked it up. The water over there at the gym is 48, 47, 48.
Okay.
Woo.
Wow.
And it's just like, woo. You just get in there. I just close my eyes.
It's a huge shock to the instant shock. Yeah.
I'm healed. It's like my back feels better. It's not tight. I get down from my shoulder. I have bad shoulder. But and then the hot cold. I do that, and then that helps me on tour before.
Yeah,
show.
for sure.
One time I didn't stretch, y'all, and we rolled hard, and class, I was like, my toe was still hurting, my shoulder was so. But everybody says, Elec, which one's your bad shoulder? That's why I like it. Because they say, oh, just do it over here, drill over here.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
Do small thing over here. Even my collar tie is hurts sometimes. I can't do a full one on my right because I have to switch and do it on my left. But yeah, I was sore. My lower back, legs are sore because I'm using body parts I haven't used since I was wrestling.
Yeah,
sure.
Just the twisting part, the twisting and your hips and
your abs are.
I'm just like, what is going on? I was like, my back is tight. And my girl's like, you need to stretch after jiu-jitsu. You need the ice bath. I was like, babe, I'm going to just let me let me be Conan for a minute. Let me just be strong. Just let me have that good feel good sore. But thank you for saying that, Chad, for people on this interview, so people would know that, and that's going to stick with me, and I'm going to steal that. I'm going to say that on stage. Action. That's anything in life. There's a difference between being injured and hurt.
Yeah,
you can still make it through. That's the best thing about this. I mean, everything we talked about has been great. But that stuck with me when you said it. Nice. And that hasn't left my head. Yeah. You said that. You taught me something. Now, thank God for you. You said there's a difference between being hurt and injured. I tell people, can you survive? If somebody dropped you off, you ever watch the TV show Alone?
Mm-hmm. I love that show. Love that show.
Man, listen, people's, you're a sucker. You go out there and try that then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
Go try that.
Yeah.
Listen, my black tail will be out in 24 hours. If I ain't got no food, I'm
gone.
I'll make my shelter. I'm just being honest. I'll make my shelter. I'm gonna cry a little bit, like, I can't believe I'm this. Hey, y'all got any snacks in this helicopter when y'all got I think I can make it, Chad. I think I can make it, y'all, for 24 hours. It's just fasting. If I find some water, but that's it. If you're hurt, you can keep going. Mm-hmm. If you're hurt, you can keep going. Just fight through it. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares. Nobody owes you nothing. You have to find the warrior within you. You have to find that beast within you to keep going. Injured, yeah, you're injured. Like, you need to stop and rehab. Like me, I have injuries. Yeah, I'm crazy. I still go and try to just get through it. But I'm still in the building. I'm still there. I'm still in the building. Yeah. Sure. And just like you said, T, you still got to get in the building.
You got to get in there.
Don't sit at home and say, oh, man, how was class? And watch some videos. If you go there and just do a little bit, you're still in the building. You're still in the building.
And
Thank you for saying that, Chad. I really
no problem. And that's what I try to tell people and Terry said about getting them in when they're hurt. Like, if you know you're going to be out for 2 months, I know it's easy to stay home because you don't want to miss the rolling part of the gym.
It's easier. Comfort is easier than
and we know how easy and hard it is to break a habit. It's hard to form a habit, but it's easy to break a habit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, if you miss that,
form a habit. It's hard to form. It's easy to form a habit, but hard to.
No, it's hard. It's hard to form a habit. It's easy to break the habit because it's easier to stay at home in your comfort. Then hurt and go,
injured.
I'm hurt, and your mind instantly tells you, "Well, dude, you're hurt," or whatever. Your mind can tell you all. It's always going to tell you this stuff. Like, so, and Chad knows this. Like, I'm a big person of like listening to like your inside voice, like getting your deep inside voice, and go, that's your true voice. Like, that's the voice that says, "No, get up. go do it again. Like, you got this. Like, believe in yourself, push yourself, be more for yourself, be more for those around you. And but when you're hurt and injured, it's easier for your mind to go, oh man, that hurts. Oh, my foot hurts. Just stay home. Watch Jeopardy. Hang out. Do whatever. Like, don't go there. No one cares. Like, no one does. Oh, but I care. Like, in my own head, like, you're real. I care. And I know people actually care. My mind's telling me they don't. But so it's easy. It's so easy in anything we do in life to break it. It is so hard to make it. And you know, go ahead, Chad.
We have a good one of my students is a blue belt, Jake Hauser, one of Terry's main training partner. Hurt his knee last year, and it was pretty bad, and he took it pretty hard. And he told me when he came back, he's like, listen, I was probably going to hang it up if it wasn't for you texting me and saying, hey, when you coming back to the gym, or how's your knee, or whatever. He was ready to hang it up, you know, because of that injury, and not just keep coming back. You know, the habit was gone, you know.
Well, that's selfless of you too, Chad. You know, Patcher, give yourself a round of applause because you actually took the time to do it. Some people don't even care. Like, oh, he's hurt, he'll be back. I got these other students. That means you actually reached out and say, hey, are you good? What's going on? Yeah. Eric, my coach, does the same thing. Hey, how's your toe? He's like, all right, well, I'll see you next. I say, hey, coach, I got a show coming up. Let me heal this injury. Let me heal this, because it's like, if I make it worse, I don't get this check. So let me just heal this injury. Yeah. See, I'm in a different spot.
This is your livelihood.
Yeah, just like as a traveling touring musician on TV, doing this and doing this and doing that in front of crowds, I got to be at my best. But that's that savage. That's deep down inside me. I'm still going to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm still going to go train. I'm still going to go train. But that's deep that you even text him. You're the blue belt guy, because he said he was going to hang it up. So he'll never. Is he back? Is he back?
Oh yeah.
He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, we were training last week. Yep.
Well, there it is. That's a blessing. Well, good for him. That's a blessing. Tim, that's what I said. That's like, I have to, and Eric does it. He'll say, hey, are you rolling today? It's like, hey, I got my back I'm feeling tingling. But he's like, okay, just chill. I'll see you next week. Next thing you know, I'm there next week. I ice it, take my time and do it, go do my shows, and I'm there. So that means a lot. That really, really means a lot, man. It's been great, man. Y'all show me, y'all open my eyes and ears to a lot of things. No, you have.
Yeah, thanks, that's good. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, y'all really have. And I thought, interviews I do, it's like, okay, so how long you been doing this show? How long? Okay, I get it. Like, I'm okay. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I take that back. Thank you.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing, brother. We know that. Yeah.
Everything you give me, my talents. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I just want to ask questions myself.
Yeah.
And just talk. And just, and like, hey, what do y'all think about that? Because that helps me learn.
Sure.
You're a blue belt. Hey, dude, you come from wrestling. How you feel about how did your coach? He's 150 and he tossed you across the mat. Oh, if Elec, it was good. I got back up and dusted it off. Small thing like that. Hey, Chad, have you ever had a purple belt tell you, or a brown belt say, hey, why don't you try it this way? He'll ask, like, hey, what did you do? Did you do that this way? Yeah. Everybody learns, but nobody says that on social media. That's why I say social media can be phony and corny. It can be great. You have to pick and choose in between the lines. Because everybody's just posting the great things, what they're doing. I'm posting me getting rolled over. Like my one buddy said, man, you got rolled over by that skinny dude. Talking about my coach. I was like, man, listen.
You don't know.
You have no clue at all. I was like, I thought I had it.
You come roll with that skinny dude and you tell me.
Man. I was like, oh, man, you move on me. Yeah, so, I appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on here, man. It's been a blessing.
Terry, you want to tell him your jiu-jitsu aha moment?
So,
I make him tell this every now and
actually,
again.
we just did it. We did it last week in a little demonstration on to do this. But pass guard, knee on belly, slid down, and he cross faced me. So cross facing, wrestling, same exact thing. And everyone knows, like, when Chad and I are around, I'm a bigger person than Chad is. We told the weight difference. He cross-faced me and flattened me out from side. Like, he came and I pushed the knee off and I came to the side, and he cross-faced me and flattened me out like I was 50 pounds of nothing. And it was a moment in my head, and I was like, ooh, jiu-jitsu is for real. like jiu-jitsu is no problem. Like, he knew how to move me, misalign my head in order to misalign my spine, and then made me roll, flatten out, and he took top position, no problem at all. And it was like, oh, what? Like, at that moment, I was like, okay.
Man, listen, and look, Chad got the beard too, so he already looks wise. He already looks like a Mortal Kombat. I would pick, remember Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
I would go past Sub-Zero, and I was like, let me pick him. The bald head I would pick him. He would be my character. You go past Raiden and go down. I would pick him right in the left-hand corner. He already looks wise, but no, I watched Eric and Sean roll one time. Sean had something had a lock. He was trying to figure out, try to get around. And coach was just like smiling. And this is Sean's shoulder. Coach dug his elbow in between and got in. And him like he's like just wait till he breathes in and just wait till he gets lax, dig it in there, slip that elbow and got him. He's like, well,
what happened?
That's how the black, just like you said, T.
You
slide out like 50%, and they're like, they get up like, okay, who's next?
Right, exactly. Every time you just crawl off into the corner, start questioning everything. You go home at night. You're like, no music's on that night. Like, just like, what's going on? So,
that's one of the nights you watch in the heat of the night. Get you some
cereal, exactly.
You chill. You just take it. Your wife told you, listen, I'll talk to you later. I love you.
I gotta go to my Yes, I gotta go. I can't do this right now. Exactly.
Hey, listen, shout out to your whole team, y'all. Your whole
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Shout out to y'all. Like I said, my name's Elec. When I come visit the home and I do shows in Ohio, like I said, I'm there in July, August, and September. I'm definitely gonna try to come in and roll and everything and just learn and just sit back and learn. You know what I'm saying? Take it easy on me.
For sure.
Watching, just take it easy on me. I'm learning, but don't take it easy on me. I'm ready. I'm coming here and learn. Just open my mind.
Yeah, for sure. Shout
out to all y'all. Tim. Shout out to Tim Stentz. That's my boy. Shout out to him.
Dude.
He's a great. He's another. Like, I watched him a lot. And there's another guy, my boy TJ, Gary, Jonathan. I grew up with Jonathan. There's a couple. Of course, my coach Eric here in Orlando, but my boy TJ out there, and I think TJ's in Idaho or Iowa, one of them. He's a monster. He reminds me of Tim. Shout out to Brian Rogers too. Same thing. I watched these.
Yeah, Brian's a good dude.
Yeah, I watch these people go, and everybody has different styles.
Yeah,
I watched Tim. I watched him on the videos. I think he was covering for you, Chad. On his Instagram. I was like, Tim's a beast, man. He's a monster.
He's exceptional.
He's a curly-haired monster. I was like, man.
He is.
I was like, Tim, I was like, yeah. I was like, no, he's that guy. Like, I remember when he had his big
old mustache. Yeah.
Mustache. I was like, Tim, you ain't no joke. He's that. Yeah. It's the nice ones. And I tell people, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm going to let y'all wrap it up. Listen, people who's watching, just because your family and your friends and you're from the hood, you're from this side of town, does not make you strong.
Right.
Does not make you strong. Always remember this. Somebody's always training. And they're always steps ahead of you. So humble yourself in life. Because we ain't all bad to the bone like we think we are.
Yeah,
Jiu-Jitsu
for sure.
Will teach you that. It will teach you that. So my young bulls out there who just full of testosterone, y'all ready, y'all. You might have a couple tattoos. You might do a whole bunch of curls. Chill out, bro.
Yeah,
chill out.
Facts.
About that.
Facts.
And even my young ladies out there. Young ladies, this jiu-jitsu is a sport for both. Young ladies, there's some young ladies out there who are complete monsters. Hey, shout out to you guys too. Shout out to all you guys. My lady friends who do jiu-jitsu. Shout out to you guys. Liz, I think she does. Yeah, shout out to all you guys. So just, hey, that's my last thing. Self-discipline. Stay away from distractions.
Yeah.
Stay away from distractions, and humble yourself and just sit back and listen.
Yeah. Be chill. Like, yeah, you were talking earlier about the what was I going to say? Oh, traffic and getting mad at people, right?
Road rage.
Yeah. Road rage. That's the word I was looking for. Jiu-jitsu and martial arts will make you think like, that dude that I just flipped off, does he know jiu-jitsu? You're right. It like makes you think like, I don't know what that dude knows.
Right.
Because
wait a minute, say it up. I know this is y'all gonna put it up and record. Say that one more time, because this is the stuff I like.
Yeah.
Because I say things people are afraid to say.
Yeah.
Like they just say, no, this is true. This is real. Like, hey, this person I yelled at going past Giant Eagle, at home.
Yeah.
Whatever, right.
Or Trader Joe's like, hey, man, who you think you are? Okay. Yeah. He go, what'd you say?
Yeah.
And then you're in there.
Right.
You're
too deep.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
too deep, man.
Yeah.
Humble yourself and chill out. I used to be the road rage guy because, it's like, my mental, just I'm not gonna get back on it, but like,
yeah,
I'm tired. I do a lot on stage.
Yeah.
I'm tired, and sometimes I just want to just be left alone. And people will pick at you on purpose because the way you look, and
they see that,
and
they want to get at you,
and the one dude, I'll never forget. He's like, what are you gonna do? I said, God bless you, man. I laughed and did like this. God bless you, man. I had to say that.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like a punk or less or a sissy because I smiled and did a godly thing. Said, you know what, it's cool. And he kind of looked at me like, and just drove off. Like, what did he say? He said, God bless me, and put a peace sign up and smiled at me. And I just cussed him out. You know what I'm saying? He cussed me. I was like, it's all right, man. Take care, man. Go on about your business. And I felt good after. I was like, man, that felt great. So just humble yourself, y'all.
Yeah.
Humble yourself, man.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me on here, man.
Oh, thanks,
Elec,
man. That was awesome.
Thank you so much. God bless you and your family and everything that you're doing, brother. Keep it up and stay in the gym. Keep training. And when you come back to Ohio in July, man, make sure that we know. I'd like to come see you perform too, like wherever you're performing too.
Definitely. I MC a lot in Ohio. I mean, that's my main thing, MCing events.
Right on. Nice.
I MC a lot. So I'll let you guys know. I mean, we got each other on.
Sweet.
Instagram. They can follow me on Instagram at Elec Simon, Facebook. Oh, look, here, I'm gonna show you this. I'm 10 years old. VHS tape. Look at me.
Oh,
nice. Watch me get around. Watch that too.
The big camera too. The VHS big full tape camera, right?
The tracking.
Yeah.
My mom found it. She's like, listen, look at this tape I got. I said, Mom, I need this VHS tape right now. I got to figure out how to get this to DVD. I was like, wow, I was 10 years old, man. That's crazy. I think
that's awesome,
man.
That's awesome.
So
man.
it's in you. You see, when you see you're young doing stuff like that, it's in you. It stays with you, man.
Yep. Yeah. Forever.
God bless you guys, man.
Thanks, brother.
You too, my friend. All right. We'll see you. Be safe.
Man.
All right.
Thank you, man. Peace.
Yep. All right. See you.